Hi everyone, how are you? Hope you're all well. I am hopping on here because now my blood pressure is too high to sleep, and I'm going to show you why. And I think that some of you will understand what I'm talking about. So it all starts like this. I had my sleep headbands on. Well, it's not headbands, but it's sleep headphones. It's a sleep headband, so it has the flat speakers. And I generally like to listen to people that I'm really familiar with and know that they won't have any issues that will upset me. And but I do like to just like fall asleep to conversations. It kind of just goes back to the days when you fall asleep, talking to your best friend, and you're so tired, you're just staying awake, and so tired you're falling asleep. You know how it goes. So, this chat for some reason kind of came across by this channel named Wabi Sabi. And I saw that Heels on the Air was on there, and I'm a huge fan of Heels in the Air. I think she does great work. She's a really smart lady. She's down to earth. And the conversation was going around about quite a few different people, and the regulars about Simp Island, Dolly, blah 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 blah. Um, nothing really out of the norm. It was a pretty good conversation. This chick who I'm not familiar with, small town girl, was on, and I don't know her backstory, so this is the first time I've ever heard anything. But for me to now be here at 4:37 in the morning, hopping out of my bed, my sleep headphones, to come on over here and record tells you that what she said really upset me because now I can't sleep and I've got to talk. And I am not talented in making a good video and really showing why what she said is problematic. And so please forgive me for not being good at clipping and putting things in. There are things that need to happen here, and I don't know, like I say, I don't know how to do this. I need the glarer's help. I need I need toasty. I need burnt toast. I need somebody to have a panel and help straighten this part out. And maybe by me showing the problem here, it will be fixed, because YouTube is based on a community that has people that do their part. It has people doing their part to form cohesion and have people generally doing their own thing and coexisting quite well. When there is somebody or a group of people that are problematic, YouTube itself, by design, expects the community to do their part in explaining why that person is problematic and they are not contributing to the group or the community in doing their part responsibly. And this is what has happened here, because the people who are not acting responsibly, because they are acting out of greed to get what they want in illegal mannerisms. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm so pissed off. Maybe I should just let you listen. And the live chat, I just started. So it was probably somebody was already talking. So if the live chat replay comes up, which I don't see that it is, um, I begged um, Heels in the Air, to set this chick straight, and I feel that they let this chick talk enough just to kind of hear what she's saying, and the back from this conversation, the way that it was, this Valley girl is talking about how she wants things to just people to just all get along and all be happy, and she's trying to find summer wells by going in on all these things and searching for. I don't know. I stay away from the summer wells thing because of the people who are involved with it. And that's very sad, because a little girl is not getting the attention that she needs, and she could be locked in somebody's basement for right now, for all we know. But because of the greedy people that have gotten in here and exploited the story, I stay out of it. Those same greedy people just came to my town and really hurt a community and caused an entire search to be stopped because they're there. This group of people, these tragedy pimps, get all of the money from the people like this chick who think that they're harmless and that they're just doing God's work and they're doing stuff that they don't have the time to do and they don't know how to do. And so, yeah, give them a little money, give them a little money, give them a little money, give them a little money. Look at them. They're out there doing this. But what they're doing is things that any of us could do, but we know better because we have morals and we respect our judicial system and we respect jurisprudence and we respect our whole entire way of life, in that when somebody is suspected of something, there's a process in how our system goes through and files charges and then has a trial by jury, and then that person is deemed either innocent or guilty, or like in the case of Casey Anthony, not able to be proven guilty without a reasonable doubt. The problem with the cases that the tragedy pimps are globbing onto is that every single case has enough reasonable doubt around the players that look like they might be involved that our system cannot just go up and make these arrests and hang these people in town square, because that's not the way that we do it. So this little group going around with the Summer Wells thing, they think that, her parents did it, whatever. And so they get everybody all riled up, and they're creating chaos. It's just like somebody yelling fire in a crowd. This is what the tragedy pimps are doing to these stories. And then they're getting enough money from people that the people think, oh yeah, they're going and they're doing what should be done. That should be done. But you know what? If that's the way that things should be done, we would be going back thousands and thousands of years in civilization, because that's not how things are done. Because to do things in that manner creates anarchy and nobody is safe. Our biggest fear as Americans in our system of criminal justice is that we never want somebody who is innocent to be behind bars. And right now it is estimated that, I can't remember the statistic right now because I'm too tired, I'm not going to say it right now, but there are innocent people behind bars. And then there are people who are innocent for other reasons under the law that are behind bars. And there are people guilty walking free. But that's because our system works in a certain way, because that's our community of criminal justice and the way that we operate. And so these tragedy pimps think that that's what they're doing. But you know what they're actually doing? They're just people who don't want to work, because they don't want to work and they don't want to abide by the rules and mores of our society, of our social mores. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm so pissed. So they don't want to work because they can't work, because they are not the kind of people who would actually work to earn their money. They want to be the kind of person who takes somebody else's money, kind of like an identity theft. An identity theft is just a thief who's too cowardly to go and, actually go out and pick the stuff they want. An identity thief is a real lazy thief who sits there and pecks around and goes and gets social security numbers of other people and then goes and gets credit in their name and lives off of that. An identity thief. Based on this, I can imagine that there's so many people just like this one who thinks that identity theft is a victimless crime. Well, I'm going to stop at that because I don't want to say too much. I'm going to sip my tea before it spills. But what these people are really doing is they're just funding their own lifestyle. They're not getting anything done. They are interfering in active investigations. They are doing the kind of thing that could indeed cause somebody who's very guilty to be set free for something like a child murder because of the things that they are doing. that are not done because that's what could happen. They are using the money that they are screwing other people out of to go and do whatever the fuck they want. Then what they want to do is they want to go to Trump rallies. They want to go and they want to be that part. They want to be in the middle of that adrenaline. And they want to cause a bunch of shit in the middle of those rallies because that's where it's all happening. They're adrenaline junkies, little tragedy pimps. Then they want to go and they want to eat. And they want to make sure that there's enough of a budget for them to have $30 each meal on the back of somebody else who's given them money to go and get justice for Summer Wells. And you got people who promote them. Because apparently in our community, when we say, hey, this person isn't abiding by the rules, we don't do the things that he does because those kinds of things are illegal. They're not funny and they're not cute. That's why this person who I'm going to show you is a convicted felon. We'll get into that because apparently this chick, small town girl, doesn't think about this. So here we are. Let me introduce you to small town girl. First of all, she's going to talk about how, if Dolly didn't make the soap, he should just be honest. So apparently to this small town girl, honesty is important to her. So let's keep that in mind for a second. Just stick that in the back of our hat for a second. And here we go. And I'm doing this under the Fair Use and Copyright Protection Act of 1976, which allows for critique. Well, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to critique education, communication, where it does not need to have permission first. I can't even say it right. I'm just doing this under fair use. Thank you, Wabi Sabi, for hosting this panel that has given me so much food for thought right now. And I will link to this original chat so they can hear the whole thing. And the whole thing was ran very well hosted. All of the players did very well. And so thank you, Wabi Sabi. And I'm sorry that this part upset me to the point that it did, but we've got to talk through it. So I'm starting here this is a 5-hour stream, and I'm starting here at 3 hours and 29 minutes. So 3:29:09 is where I'm starting in if you want to start about there. And this is where she's just talking about Dolly should be honest. And then you're going to hear what just make me mad enough to spit nails.
I'm not going to pay $15 for one bar of soap.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But that
No,
doesn't.
you can go to Sam's Club, you can go to Costco, and you can buy a 24-pack of bar of soap for $15.
I just bought.
Yeah, but I kind of like that Adams.
Yeah,
That's a
Adam's
good deal.
great. I
Yeah.
bought. I've been talking to Tanya G. Tanya G's the one that's been doing all the videos on his soap and stuff.
I know.
That's how I found out about Adams. And guess what? Adams Wholesale, I just bought a humongous box of 50 bars of charcoal soap for $14. $14. Charcoal soap. So I'm kind of a weird vegan.
I kind of want the one with the gold flakes in it. That sounds good.
I know, right? That would be great. Unfortunately, these did not have the gold flakes, but the charcoal soap is a detoxifier. So if you watch that, it's supposed to detoxify any chemicals or whatever. So I found out from Tanya G about Adam's soap, and I went and bought a huge box. And I don't know, it's like 50 bars, 60 bars. There's a ton of soap in there. And
Wow.
I bought it for $14. $14 because of
See,
Tanya.
that's the smart way to do it. I mean, if that's what he was doing, hell,
Yeah,
that's a hell of a profit.
Right.
But he
I
never
also-
should have said he made it.
Yeah.
That was his mistake.
That's my problem. That's my problem. That's my problem. If you're not making it, you just freaking be honest. You be honest. That's all I ask. If you're honest about it and you want to sell your bar of soap for $20, that's great. I'll buy it if I want to support you. But if you're not being honest, I can't do that.
So you're saying honest. That's an important thing to her, apparently.
Well, I just don't think he should have said it. I mean, he could have sold soap, but he had to do some, marketing. So he said it. I mean, he bullshitted about the soap.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay.
Okay. We
I
got
know he
it, Jay.
makes
You
it.
can,
I know
Just
he's
all
making
that.
the soap. Absolutely, he made the soap. Nobody's arguing with him. He made the soap right there. We watched it.
And that's fine. If he made it and people want to pay for it, that's great. That's amazing. If
But
you
I
don't,
sure as hell wouldn't make it. If I can get that much for $15 and sell it, no way I'd make it.
right. And I just bought, mine was the huge box that I bought. It was the defective soap, like it had like a chip here, or it was
I
deformed.
bet that's what he buys.
But that's what I bought. And I bought a huge box of it for $14, and that's fine. But I understand why his supporters are buying. My whole thing is just fucking be honest. Just be honest. If you're not making it, say, dude, I'm wholesaling this soap. I'm wholesaling it. That's it. Just be honest.
Which is what most.
I sped it up in just a few minutes. Oh, just here. So look, we can see that apparently Small Town Girl really wants to get across that she likes it when people are honest. She likes honest people. So remember, you heard it from her own mouth. She really likes honest people. She likes honest people, so everything's going fine, Oh, I'm just getting ready to get into a deeper sleep, okay, yeah, everything's going fine. And then all of a sudden, just listen to how this went. And it was one of those moments you're going, what? Ruh-roh? What? What did you just say? What the? And I can only imagine, like, how many other people are out there like me going, what the? Or they're going to hear this tomorrow and they're going to be like, what the? Because there's a big what the coming up.
As people
Who
do.
would come out and say that though? Who would come out and say they're wholesaling soap?
He wouldn't have to say wholesaling. He could just say he's selling soap. Look,
Right.
I've got this kind this week, But no, I wouldn't buy it soap from anybody online like this.
Right.
They're
Just
making.
don't claim.
No.
Just don't claim.
Hell
Just
no.
claim you're making it on your own. Don't claim you're making it on your own if you're not making it on your own. And then
Yeah.
that's fine. Like I would be so supportive of someone that said, "Hey, I'm selling soap. I don't care where it came from. Okay, $10 a bar, that's fine. But don't say I'm cold processing the soap and it takes 3 weeks to set and da da da."
Oh, you know what? That whole cold processing thing, I think that was a way of delaying, some of the orders or something. Whatever happened to Angela D? Is she ever coming back?
I hope so. She had a stroke or something. She had like a stroke. Poor Angela D. I haven't heard.
Yeah, like a year ago. And she said she'd be back like in, I didn't think it was going to take a year because she's still.
I hope it wasn't from like the lie. The
Oh, you mean the L-Y-E, not the L-Y-E.
LYE lie.
now see, I'm picky about shopping for soap online. See, I have to go into the store and buy the soap myself, and I have to smell it because what if I don't like it? I'm wasting money on it.
Right.
So
You know what I mean? Here we are, soap. And you're probably going, okay, what, Tabby? What backstory, Tabby? What the hell has you up and jacked up like this? They're just talking about soap and about people being honest. What could be so wrong? Why aren't you in Wonderland right now? Just counting those sheep. What the hell is wrong with you, girl? Hold on. Here it goes.
I have to go in.
Yeah, again, it's
Smell
just
it,
support.
you know.
It's not.
Well, and I'm allergic to freaking air, so I have to buy unscented, no
Yeah.
chemicals. I have to buy all this kind of crazy, weird soap. So unfortunately, I can't buy soaps like
I'm
that.
looking forward to
understandable, though.
JLR making his own soap.
Oh,
I love
God.
JLR. Oh my God, JLR.
Wait,
Oh, my
what?
God.
What? You love JLR?
I do love JLR. Y'all gonna hate me. See, I
Oh,
love everybody.
man.
Do you know that he's actually very dangerous? You
I
know that,
he's
right?
been arrested. He's been. I know JLR.
No, baby.
Wait,
baby.
wait. What do you know about him? Just please let me hear.
I know that JLR has.
Did you hear that? What moment? Did you hear that? As I'm going to go back one more time because that's how bad it is. That was the serious, biggest moment in all of history and the history of YouTube right here. I don't want to go back too far because you know what I mean. But because it was like I said, it was like, oh, everything's going fine. And then just right there, because it just goes for, and then what Heel said something about JLR, and then this just, well, I love that JLR. I like me some of him. And, we're like, pardon? What the? You serious, son? Oh, I love him, and you all are gonna hate me, but I'm telling you, I love that guy. Okay, here we are.
That right?
Arrested. He's been. I know JLR.
No, baby.
Wait.
baby.
What do you know about him? Just please let me hear.
I know that JLR has been arrested for many fraudulent things, many. I don't think any kind of violent crimes, but he had lots of fraud arrests.
Right.
But I also, at the same time, respect his he investigates really well. So, like I said, I don't look at everybody's bad, horrible sides or whatever. But JLR is a good fucking
Yeah, one of them was
investigator.
identity. Wait.
JLR don't care what he has to do. He's going to get some information. That's why
He's
I
going to
respect
troll
him.
the shit out of you. That's what he
And,
does.
and that's fine. He's a troll, whatever. But damn, what he did with the Idaho 4.
What did he do?
He got so much more information than anybody else had.
Like what? Like what?
That's good.
No, he didn't. I mean, did he?
Yes,
Like what?
yes, he did. He pulled like 4 people over on the side of side of the road that actually knew the poor victims of that crime. He wasn't. Here's what it is about jail.
There's like 500 people that knew the victims. They went to college there.
Okay, yeah, but how many of them? How many of them did they pull over on the side of the road and
Who pulled over?
Here's the thing. You got to watch JLR's videos. He pulled over people.
Oh, I do.
She's in here. Did you all just hear this? So she's telling Heels. You got to go and watch his videos and see the way he investigates. You know what he did? So, he went to that, that Idaho 4, and he went and he was pulling people over and actually asking people who knew the victims. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, isn't that great? What in the... Okay, that's my hometown. That's my area. That's where I'm from. I have people who I could have. If I would have exploited enough money to go and got myself a plane ticket, I can tell you how much more information I would actually really have. But you know what? I don't have to because I'm from there, that little area. I have friends there. So you know what I can do in 0.5 seconds is I can reach out to my friends. And I can reach out to my friends who have their children going there. And I can reach out to my friends who have been instructors there. And I can reach out to my child who went to school there. And every single one of them is hurting. And so this bunch of jackasses exploited a bunch of money to go in there and put themselves in front of that house. And go and run around and chase people and be like, hey, did you know Ethan? Did you know him? Because they want to act like they're real reporters. But you know what? A real reporter, a real journalist waits for people who want to talk. They don't go chase cars like a freaking rabid dog. They wait until people want to tell their story and it's the right time. They find a way to tell the story that does not insert themselves, the journalist, into the story, making the story about them. They make the story as it should be, about the people who are hurting. And when this little group of hecklers, as they are referred to by actual journalists, one who was with them, the one that is paired up with JLR all the time, even though JLR wants to slap down cease and desist for saying they're connected. Well, come and slap me with a cease and desist. You'll be real surprised. You'll be real surprised about my background, buddy. We're going to you and I are going to meet. Worlds are colliding, JLR. There's going to be a reckoning. I'm just saying that. And the one who he was standing there with stood there in front of the house where those 4 young people were cut down in the prime of their lives. And stood in front of the actual journalists who'd worked hard and earned their degree through college and through experience and through telling other people's stories, and stood out there and bitched and moaned about how her hands were cold and that she needed people to send money so that she could buy some gloves because her hooves being cold was something that anybody would actually consider when the emotion in that area was palpable to anybody watching and hearing and even thinking about how horrible that was. Ethan was a triplet. 3 of them attended that school. They spent the day before. Ethan's mom longs for the day when evidence is cleared enough that she can get Ethan's camera to see the pictures how Ethan took them of his last day with his brother and sister as a triplet, because that's how they always were. And now they're operating without a third of them. Those are the kinds of things that are stories, not going and chasing people down. You could go to any city where a tragedy has happened and go chase cars and be like, hey, what do you know? What do you know about this? And then go up to the bedroom where the victim slept and go and look into the bedrooms and go and run background checks about everybody all around and start doing that. And then when they say this and everything, run DMV checks and everything. Any of us can do that. Any of us do that. But it's against the terms of service to say what we do. But you know what? He does it all the time. And these idiots pay for him to do it. And they support him doing it. And this chick, oh, she's got JLR's balls in her fucking mouth. Stop.
Yes, he pulled over people just driving down that was by
Oh,
that.
okay. Right. He put him on video.
Yes. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's not
I'm
legal.
not saying he's a good person. I am
Yeah,
not
no,
saying
he's not. Yeah.
yes, but
Oh my.
an investigator. He's such a he don't care. He has no morals.
Do you think it's
whatever.
hard to pull people? I mean, is that a talent to tell
Yeah.
someone to pull over on the side of the road?
Well, I can tell you, I would never
This
fucking
is all
do
you,
that.
Hill.
rapper.
This is
I
all
would
you.
not do that. Would you just stop some random person on the
No.
side of the road?
No,
I would
only
not.
psycho would do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
If you want information on something,
Go to JLR. Really, rapper?
yes.
Oh, really? Because I can tell you, he gets it wrong a lot. JLR is good at clicking on been verified and saying, oh, look, there's 15 aliases, which, by the way, everyone has. Then he finds an address, and really, past the been verified, he doesn't do much. And so he'll stick with that. And sometimes he will look at court records and all that. But that's when he thinks he has the right person. And then he gives that information out or sells it, whatever, to Molly or whoever is willing to pay. And he gets a lot of shit wrong.
No, but he
Because
pulls
he
up
doesn't even know
actual-
how to use a computer, really.
But he pulls up actual verified court documents.
Anybody can.
I
That's
can't.
not, you can
I
FOIA
can't.
all of that shit. He's got boxes of it.
Here's how he can do it. He doesn't have a fucking. He doesn't have a fucking job. I work
Yeah.
full time. That's his job. So he can actually request all that. He has all the.
Okay, that's his job. So his job is to exploit money, and the money that he raises by creating chaos of tragedies is his job. And this chick wants to say how admirable that is. And he gets court records and he gets all. We all do that and can do that. We just cannot state that. We cannot say that information on the YouTube because it's against the terms of service to docs. You cannot be saying these things, and you cannot be saying these things about other people. There are limits in what you can say. There are limits in what reporters can say. That is why it is not said. And the thing is that what he says is not true. He's acting like he has this information. All of us have reported up to what we can, given the sealed documents and sealed autopsies. So when somebody says they have this and they have that, they are lying. They are getting views. They are getting money by lying. And this chick had just sat there and wasted my brain cells talking about how well, just be honest and just be honest. And then out of the other side of her mouth, she wants to say that she supports somebody being dishonest. What the
time to request those documents from the pay.
He's done it for the last 15 years or whatever. That's what he did when he was in prison.
Right. But he learned all that in prison. At least.
No, okay, let me tell you how hard it is to do it for you.
Okay. He didn't learn it in prison. He didn't just be like walking by the prison one day and walk on in and go and get his ass put in solitary confinement and then be like, oh, you know what? I want to go to the law when I get out of solitary confinement and find out how to look up records. No, he did a lot of really, really shitty things where a lot of people are still picking up the pieces and trying to rebuild their lives. Because by doing this, by going and finding out all of this information, that's how he became an identity theft. Because when he found out all this stuff about people and he got their social security numbers and everything, he would go and get things for himself and live like a parasite with the shell of another person's identity to go and get what he wants. He's a thief, a convicted thief. He is a stalker, a thief. He does inappropriate things. And well, this chick just sat there and said, why can't we get along? We all just need to get along. And and she's spending all day, looking on maps and everything, trying to find Summer, and she can't do anything else because she finds Summer. And then supporting, this is why I don't have anything to do with the Summer Wells case because of the people involved. And this chick has proven that I'm doing the right thing because the people involved in the case are doing it because it's the case that gets them the most money. How many people would be looking for Summer Wells and doing the stuff on it if there was no money in it? Yeah. Silence, crickets. For some reason, it's low-hanging fruit. They are getting a lot of money from it. A lot of money. What has any of the money that has been given to all of these tragedy pimps to go and find Summer Wells done for Summer Wells? What has it done? And so when JLR just went and put the license plate of the Wells back on the internet and showed the hotel they were living in, and then goes and does the cop knock super loud and then steps back until Candace opens and then screams, "Where's Summer, Candace? Where's Summer, Candace?" And his viewers are like, "You're going to do it. No one else is going to do it." Yeah. Okay, that's doxing. That's showing that's somebody's license plate. Any of us could do it, but we don't because it's not proper behavior. That behavior that he just did can very well get him back behind bars where I am convinced he belongs. He is a threat to society. When our government had to take down a plane a few weeks ago, he had his chat, his subscribers, all convinced that, well, he just broke the story basically because you know what? He just had everybody believing that was basically another 911 incident that, was just narrowly avoided it. And our government isn't going to say anything, but, he's going to go ahead and let them all believe that, and God, thank the kind Lord that JLR is there to tell us these things. And look at the people who follow him. There are a bunch of people wearing tinfoil. He's got, 50,000 subscribers. 40,000 of them are his own profiles that he has. He sits there and creates thousands and thousands of profiles to stage fights so that then it looks like there's fighting over certain issues in certain political realms over certain things. He sits there and creates all of these profiles and profiles and profiles so that he can sit there and fight and make it look like he's all built up and make all these people think that he's wonderful. And he's the one in there behind half of those profiles. I'd bet you it's half of those 25,000, and he single-handedly gets himself monetized, single-handedly gets himself all of the views. You know what? And I'm talking, and he's going to send me whatever, and I don't care. I will absolutely go to court toe-to-toe with JLR and go in front of a judge and say, this is the behavior that I see that I feel is wrong, that he is doing again, that is absolutely in his wheelhouse for what he has done it previously, living off of other people's identities. And now he's done it as a professional, and that other people think that this is his job because he is absolutely 100% getting paid and paid well for it. He gets to go there, prop his ass up and get sit there and eat the best hamburgers and sit there and talk about the hamburgers. Well, isn't Small Town Girl, she just, had to let us know that she's a vegan and everything. So she's sitting there, oh, he's so cute and everything. Well, he's eating hamburgers and everything like that. And that's all cool and everything because apparently it's not really anything that she does, whatever she sees, she doesn't stand for. You can have different likes and everything. But when it comes down to her, she wanted to sit there and say how everybody just needs to be honest and get along and everything. And then she says this shit. Ugh.
You go to the police department or the courthouse or wherever. You fill out a form and say, I want everything you have on case number 12345. Thanks. That's it.
Okay,
Not involved, and then they'll send you everything for that.
Have you done that before?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have not.
Yeah, it's just a FOIA. It's a freedom of information.
So he can actually request he has all the time to request those documents from
Yeah.
the court to pay
He's
for
done
all
it for
that.
the last 15 years or whatever. That's what he did.
Okay. She's saying that he does that, and she doesn't have the time to do that and everything like that. Yeah, he's getting paid to do that by quite handsomely. He has now figured out another way to profit off of getting other people's identities, and like we're saying, the Mollys and the Bettys and everything, they'll pay him to do that because anybody who comes into their chats and says anything about what they're doing when they're terrorizing a thing, well, you know what? They want to know who they are so that they can go and they can get their house swatted and they can call CPS on them and they can do all of that because they want to act like they're holding up the law and everything, but they're the ones who are most scared of our Constitution because they want to shut down the freedom of speech of anybody who says anything against them. They are the biggest bullies out there, and they pay JLR to go and get other people's identities. By definition, that is a violation of his probation. Maybe we should just have a panel and have his probation officer involved in all of this, and maybe this will stop. Because there are channels that work so hard to illustrate out there what he has done and how he is an absolute and total menace to our society. And then you have people like this who do this, and then that feeds those ones in there that don't care about the actual truth and facts or how to conduct yourself in a responsible manner around an area in which there has been an unspeakable, heartbreaking tragedy.
When he was in prison.
Right. But he learned all that in prison. At least
No, okay, let me tell you how hard it is to do it for you. You go to the police department or the courthouse or wherever. You fill out a form and say, I want everything you have on case number 12345. Thanks. That's it. Not involved, and then they'll send you everything for that.
Have you done that before?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have not. I have not.
Yeah, it's just a FOIA. It's a freedom of information.
Well, then you should. Do you have your own channel?
Yeah, but I'm like,
This bitch just in the air if she has a channel. Okay, dramatic pause. To go up to Miss Heels in the frickin' air and say, well, you should put that on your channel. Do you have a channel? Oh. And I think that I could stop here, and my point has been made that people who support and cheer on JLR, oh, hold on, that's the phone. It's the village. Ma'am, you got to go back. Your village called. They're missing their idiot.
I'm not going to do all that shit.
Okay,
Why would
exactly.
I?
He will, and he will. That's
Well,
my
how
whole
much
fucking
good does it
point.
do you to know that what some guy on the side of the street that he pulled over, FOIA this guy's criminal record?
Because
What
no one
good
else
has
would
that
do it.
done? Why would you do it?
No one else
Why?
would do it.
Why?
I wouldn't do it because I have fucking morals, and I feel embarrassed.
But you like that.
Okay, so she wouldn't do it because she has fucking morals. She likes honesty. But she's supporting somebody then who she's just admitted does not have morals, is not honest, and thinks it's real cool, and asks heels in the air if she has a channel, and then she should put on her. Oh, jeez. Oh, here goes my blood pressure again. Lord, did y'all hear that? Did you hear what she said? Okay. All right.
So he can actually request he has all the time to request those documents from
Yeah.
the court, to pay
He's
for
done
all
it for
that.
the last 15 years or whatever. That's what he did when he was in prison.
Right. But he learned all that in prison. At least
No, okay, let me tell you how hard it is to do it for you. You go to the police department or the courthouse or wherever. You fill out a form and say, I want everything you have on case number 12345. Thanks. That's it. Not involved, and then they'll send you everything for that.
Have you done that before?
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's-
I have not. I have not.
Yeah, it's just a FOIA. It's a freedom of information.
Well, then you should. Do you have your own channel?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do all that shit.
Okay,
Why would
exactly.
I?
He will, and he will. That's
Well,
my
how
whole
much
fucking
good does it
point.
do you to know that what some guy on the side of the street that he pulled over, FOIA this guy's criminal record?
Because
what
no one
good
else
has
would
that
do
done?
it.
Why would you do it?
No one else
Why?
would do it.
Why?
I wouldn't do it because I have fucking morals, and I feel embarrassed.
But you like that. You like to watch him invade people's private life.
Because I can't.
No, I don't see
Those
anything
people
but
were
you.
willing to talk to him.
They weren't willing for him to pull their background and read off every piece of every court record. I mean, if you pull a FOIA, it tells you everything. And it also has a lot of information that's not redacted. It's not for, to put on the internet and make them look like a suspect. I've had several people email me asking me if I know how they can get themselves off his channel.
Okay, I totally
So
understand.
can I have your
I
phone?
Here's my I could not be that person that was standing by that 1122 King Road home. I could not be that person that would just stop every car going by and asking them information. That's what I respect about JLR.
While he films their license plate as they drive away.
But a lot of them stopped. A lot of them stopped, and a lot of them talked. That's
Okay?
the-
That's totally different than having your whole life investigated. All because they were in front of a house.
No, the people he pulled over, he did not investigate their lives. He just went off the information of what they said. But what I'm saying, if I was standing in front of that King Road home, I wouldn't even have the balls to pull over just a passing Jeep and say, hey, what do you know? What do you know? That's the thing.
Yeah, he doesn't have human feelings, so.
And that's what I'm saying. He has
He's
no
not a real boy.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry.
This is what I'm telling you. I agree with you.
I know, but you.
Me and you wouldn't have the heart to just pull over people and ask him all this random shit. Okay, and he did because he don't care. He has no empathy. He don't care. It's all about his channel. But guess what? He gets a lot of freaking information.
But it's over what? What, what, what
Have you
good
not
did
watched
it
his
do?
channel? You haven't
Yes,
heard
I
of his
watch it. I'm not entertained by him pulling over random people in front of a house where 4 kids were slaves. I don't find anything interesting about that.
It's not interesting, but God, my God, that one guy he pulled over gave him a lot of freaking information that no one else would have.
Did
And
you?
like someone like
Like what?
him that
Like what?
lacks empathy, someone like him that lacks empathy, he don't
Right,
care.
but what did he
Just
tell him that nobody else had?
a lot, a lot.
Okay, all right, well, I'm gonna have to go with a lot then.
If you send me your email, I will send you that
Well, I can
video.
watch his video. I mean,
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm
He's
not.
someone like I'm not. He's someone like I am not.
I know, but what we have to understand is we are not investigators. We're not.
So she wants us there. Well, he found out. He found out so much stuff that nobody else has found out. And so Heels, being the queen that she is like, huh, really? What did he find out? Well, yeah, stuff. Yeah, like stuff that no one else knew. Okay, well, like what? Well, why don't you give me your email and I'll send you his videos. Okay, no, we don't watch his videos because they are not credit worthy. Well, a weird word to use with a prolific identity thief, but here's the thing. When you go to college, when you're at the graduate level and you're having to write all kinds of papers and you have to write them in all in APA and everything, and they go through the review and they talk to you about sources and what is a credible source and how do you determine that. And if you are writing this paper or your college level, graduate level paper, you cannot go, well, JLR said it and JLR did it. Well, this might have this big nugget of information, but it's not true because it was gained by somebody who she just says has no morals and is dishonest and is a convicted identity theft, convicted for fraud. Therefore, he is pimping fraudulent information for money so that people like this go and cheer him on so that then 10 other people who think that she knows what she's talking about because she's got a channel where she goes and tells that she's apparently looking for a little girl. Okay, I guess maybe that's it. I guess that it's just not common knowledge that you need to check your sources. There is nothing that JLR has ever hatched out of his ass, because that's where all the information comes from, that has ever been relevant or proven to be valid or trustworthy. Nothing. He says things, he gets clickbait so that people will hit the button, give him views, which gives him money. He is fueled by greed. The second that YouTube allowed these people to sit there and beg for money is the second that this whole community lost any chance that responsible creators who do the back work, who make sure that if something is said, that it's true, that it's valid, that it's truthful, that it's responsible, and that you can back up an opinion. If you go out on a limb and you say an opinion, you can say it, well, this is how I came up with this. And at this point, there's not anything that can say that it is not true, because of course you need to have your own creative flair to get the interest in your story. If you sit there like a robot and you're like, duh, 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 you're not going to get people who want to listen to the story. So there is an art in the storytelling. That's true, but it is all based in supporting the facts so that people will understand the facts. It's a sandwich that you've got the information in the middle that is proven, that would stand that any test you put against it. But that alone isn't something that anybody's going to pay attention to. So, you got to put a little mayonnaise on it, a little mustard, and then you got to put the piece of bread together. And then you have the sandwich, okay? Well, what JLR is serving up is a shit sandwich. There's a freaking turd in there that has no business being there. And then it's put with bread, and the people eating it are eating a shit sandwich that JLR just sold you. And that's all that's going on here.
We don't have the
Why not?
resources because we don't have the resources, and we don't need to interfere in active cases. Now, if you want to do that on a cold case, absolutely just go for it. But when JLR goes to a Facebook page of the mother of a missing child and starts insisting their friends and family give him information, and if they don't, he does background checks on them, that's not what we do. Or that's not what the true crime community should do.
That's not what we do, but that's also a legal right.
It's not illegal. How is it illegal?
No, it's not.
It's an invasion of privacy.
It is. It is public information.
No, that's not public information.
If he's able to get it, if he is able to legally get it, that is public freaking information.
Okay, so when your child goes missing, and someone like JLR goes in, I don't know if you have adult kids, but he'll go to the adult kids, just like he's doing with Don Wells right now. Don Wells Jr. was nowhere in the vicinity. He had nothing to do with Summer Wells' disappearance, but he's putting all his past, his background out there, where he was, and he's not correct about there being a sentencing because it was an error when they arrested him. So he's making it look like his son had something to do with murder. Now, you can think all the bad things you want to about his son, but that's not right. What about your son or daughter?
Okay,
And
here's
if
what
one of them goes missing and they start tearing apart their lives, calling their jobs, getting people fired, that's what the fuck they do. I don't find that entertaining at all.
No one said entertaining, but what I can tell you
I don't
is
find it interesting.
if my daughter went missing and everybody fucking gave up on her and no one else would investigate, I would love someone like JLR to go and investigate and find my dang daughter and look into that. That's
Okay. So what Heels just laid out beautifully, she described what is known in our legal system as extortion. So what JLR does, as Heels just cited the example, goes to Summer Wells's friends, mom's friends, whatever, and says, hey, what information can you give me? I want to have an interview with you. I won't blink at all through it, I promise. I just need to do this interview. And they're like, oh, yeah, I was told not to talk to me. I don't want to talk to me. Well, you know what? If you don't, then you know what? I'm gonna run your information. I'm gonna let everybody know about that arrest that you had back in 2012 when you pulled down your pants and that's the kind of stuff. So then the person's like, oh, I don't want anybody to know that in 2012 I pulled down my pants because I was drunk. Well, then, you know what? No one's going to know, and you're going to give me this interview. And then he goes, and he walks, and without blinking, and then goes and pops it for thing. JLR investigates here. I just interviewed blah, 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 blah. Who said this and this and this about Candace? And that's coming straight from this, and blah, blah, blah. All right, and that's JLR investigates, and then people are like, wow, he just got that. Okay. That's extortion. You are extorting information. That person did not give you information that they wanted to give you. It was given as, if you do not do this, this will happen. I will do this to you. And what does he do with people's information when he gets it? He commits identity theft. That means that he can commit a crime and use your name. You can be falsely accused and you can go to prison for crimes you did not commit because the person using your identity, your shell, can say that they're you. And then they can go and get a bunch of credit in your name and you'll be stuck with a bunch of bills. Or they can do it to your grandma and then there goes your inheritance. Or they can go and do it to the person who just got into this country and wanted to live the American dream. And now they can't because they're forced to pay on bills that aren't theirs because they don't understand our system. They just understand that they have creditors calling them all hours of the day and night, threatening them, and they have to pay on these things. So they can't feed their kids. They have to get a second job because they have to pay for these bills because they don't understand how to advocate for themselves. Because an identity theft did that to them. But it's a victimless crime, right? No. The money made off of identity theft, all of that money that comes in, that's how drugs and guns and everything are ran. That's because these identities are used and bought, and all of the stuff bought to support, and the guns are bought in other people's names, and the things that they're wearing and the cars that they're driving, they are bought in somebody else's names. Identity theft is fueling all of that. That is why identity thieves now get charged with racketeering. Okay? It's not just some little fraud. It's not that. He is a convicted fraudster. He is committing fraud once again. And to sit there and act like that's funny or that's cute is She just said she has a child. She said if her child goes missing, she would like JLR to come in and investigate for her. So she would want a convicted fraudster to help find her daughter. So, given that history, she would give all of the money and maybe all of the money that her friends and family have and everything to a convicted fraudster to give her this information and that information and that information that he pulls out of his ass. And her daughter is not going to get found. And she's going to have no money or anything like that. So she's going to have to go back to work to feed herself while she's in all of this grief. And he's going to go in and do things that are not legal to potential witnesses. So then the person that may or may not have taken her daughter, let's say that that's had a happy ending, that her daughter's brought back safe, just because I don't want to, brought back safe, but the person who had kidnapped her cannot be convicted because JLR interfered with the investigation. He extorted witnesses, so what they have said cannot be used in court. But they were eyewitnesses and they saw her daughter being put in the van. But you know what? They didn't want to talk. They were afraid. Well, JLR threatened to, go and say that, hey, I'm going to tell everybody, that you pulled down your pants when you were in 2012 and you were drunk and in front of everybody. And they didn't want that done. So now there's no witness. There's not an eyewitness. So this person who kidnapped her daughter is out there and will never face charges. And her daughter will live a lifetime with PTSD. But, damn it, she doesn't want the police. She wants a JLR on it. If JLR was a competent investigator, he would be working maybe for the government, but the government put him in a little cage because that's where he belongs with the shit he does. He doesn't understand boundaries. And she thinks it's funny that he doesn't have human emotions. And he doesn't get things. So he's the mastermind behind the guns and the drugs and the crime on the street and everything that led to the kidnapper that took her daughter in that situation. But you know what? In this situation, she got her back. Daughter's fine. Right? Doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't matter that she gave all of her money to JLR and he didn't do anything. Because the information that he is giving people is not worthy, not valid, not helpful, because it is not the truth.
No, how do you think he's finding anybody? He's a troll.
Let me ask you a question, honey. How many? I'm gonna ask you now. This is a good question. Okay. Out of Betty, Dolly, and JLR, how many kids have they actually found? This is a legit question. I'm being serious. How many kids have they found while out and about with these cases?
Is that question to me?
Yes.
Okay. It's not about finding them. It's about keeping the case open where otherwise it would go cold. So it's not about finding them.
No, that's not what I'm asking because they're out. They're out looking. Okay.
They're not really
looking. I know, but I'm just asking this kind of legit question because there's people that do ask this. How many have they actually found? Absolutely zero. But you say that JLR is out looking, but here's the thing. He's not keeping these cases alive. He's actually harassing people.
Just like he did with the kids that, what was the name of the school guy? How did my mind go blank on that?
Oh, Lens?
In the school where the 26 kids were killed by the guy and Adam Lanza, JLR pretended to be his...
Yeah, Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, yeah. What do you think about Sandy Hook?
Yeah.
I mean, he runs into a church for protection where the families of 26 murdered children are praying, and he's wanting protection from the media. Yeah, he's a piece of shit, okay? That's all I got to say. Really, that's all I have to say. You can find it interesting that he trolls. That's what JLR is looking for, a viral video. That's it. Tomorrow, he'll be at a Trump rally with a great big red hat on, saying goofy shit, sitting in the front row where security cannot be that good.
You may be right.
Oh, I know I'm right. I mean, I know I've been following him for, JLR fights a lot of people, stole identities and stole money from people. He needs to remember.
He was in jail. He was in jail for fraud.
Well, that was one of the times. Another time for calling in let me put it correctly, he threatened a teenage girl in a mall. That was one of the charges. All this started like in 97. This isn't just JLR has either been in prison, in state prison, in federal or state, or on probation since 1997 to this day.
Yep.
He's been supervised. So, I mean,
Yep.
I guess he could change tomorrow or, and not be trolling, but he's trolling. Look at his pictures. Look at when he's doing a video. I had to laugh tonight because I was doing one on him. where he's showing someone's record and his mouth is wide open with his black sunglasses.
Okay, Stifler's mom is awesome. I love Stifler's mom. When I was freaking out in the chat here, I was like, Stifler's mom, please help me get my blood pressure down here. And I think, behind in the stream, so no one really knew what I was talking about. But Stifler's mom here, very smart lady, says JLR is absolutely a troll. Look what he did to Candace by showing up and knocking on her door. That's not cool. It's not acceptable. It's not cool. We don't know if Candace and Don had anything to do with the disappearance of their daughter. Why is it important for these tragedy pimps to cause other people to not have an income where they are people who earn their money, when JLR goes and extorts money from people to have this life of ease, where he goes and has the $30 a meal budget on other people's dime and gets his hotel paid for and just goes from place to place and plays with his kitty? Why does he not have a family? Why does he not have a family and a couple of children of his own? Why is that? Why does he not want that in his life? This is a person who's obviously not capable of having a relationship, not capable of intimacy, not capable of being a responsible parent, a convicted felon. This is not cute and funny, and I love him, and I love the way he does things, and he gets things done, and he gets out there and he'll do something that, no, he's conning a bunch of people so he can go to rallies. And you know what he does at the rallies? Him and his little buddy, Blowjob Betty here, they got a little thing going on. They got this little scam they do here in these rallies. And they raise money from all of these people acting like they're doing these crimes, and you can listen to Blowjob Betty sit there and do her word salad bar, because it is not even a word salad at this point. It is a freaking entire salad bar from the old Ponderosa from the 80s. It is a word salad bar that she sits there, and she will sit there and spin it all day long, well, for the morning long, that she's getting deep into these cases, and we're going to get into these cases, and then we're going to get into the cases. And then once we've got into the cases, we're going to go into the cases. But we're going to go into the cases of the cases, and then the cases, and we're not going to tolerate any trolls. I did some mistakes. I got arrested once. Who didn't when they were young? I mean, that's what they want to expose. I mean, come on. I am known by every politician. I work with the politicians. I mean, come on. Okay, that's what she does. And people think, wow, she does all these things for the cases. Yeah, she does things for the cases, and she's getting money so that she can go to the rallies with JLR, because she thinks JLR is a real cool guy. She wants to go around with him. She wants to go around with Dolly. She wants to go around with all these little men with Napoleon complexes and go around and hang out with them. But they're still not going to fuck her, no matter what. And you know what? She wants to go and do what they do, but she can't quite figure out how they do it. So she wants to know. So she's going to give them some of their money. But when she's at the Trump rallies, she wants to be there because, JLR was there, allegedly, for that whole inauguration day shit show. Anyway, those are the kinds of things he loves. Can you imagine how he's laughing every day at how he has now people paying his way to do these things? Because they go to these rallies. Betty raises her money, he raises his money, and they go to these rallies. That's all they ever want. They don't give a shit about any case or any kid. They care about doing what they want to do and having other people pay for it, however it has to be done. Okay? So they get there, and they're at this rally, and they want what they're saying to be heard, and only what they say to be heard. And they look around in the crowd, and they find out the person who's given them the biggest opposition on the other side. And they start getting a little nearer him, getting a little nearer. And then Betty's going to get near enough to that, if the guy is like saying something or whatever and his arm comes down, she's going to, oh, he just assaulted me. Oh, my arm, my back, my neck, my pussy, and my crack. Oh, help me. I was just assaulted. Officer, help me. And, people are going to be like looking like they didn't see anything. No one saw anything. Well, what's this woman doing, sitting there crying that she just got assaulted? well, here you go. Here's this little man that's going to come out with these black beady eyes, not blinking at all, not blinking at all, not blinking once. And he's to say, I witnessed the assault. I saw it all the way. Are you okay, ma'am? Let's get, security, come over. Are you sure, ma'am? Do you need medical aid or anything? Okay, this man did this to you. Yeah, that man did that to me. That big, mean man did that to me. And so, they got a witness and they've got a victim. And so they've got to get a police report. That's all they want. They want the report. So they get the report. You know what they got with the report? The person who was given the opposition's name, address, and their driver's license number. And with that, JLR goes into his little shop in his head and does his magic and finds out everything. And then he's going to go and extort every single family member of that man and every neighbor and every child and every high school teacher that man had until that man fears ever going near another rally again, making what he wants to say at a political rally be relevant. Because that's what's going on here. They want to act like they're so political and they love the Constitution. Once again, being the biggest bullies to shut the opposition down. So what they want, they get. They got this little scam going. All of them who are these little tinfoil hat wearing weirdos. And I don't know what they're up to, but there's something definitely going on where they start in local cities and local governments. They start in school boards, and they really causing commotion in the school board of all places. So you'll see that your JLRs and your Bettys, either literally or figuratively, at school board meetings, causing problems. They're trying to figure out who is local in the local government, the local players. I don't know what they're doing, but I've seen it, and I've seen them doing it. Betty doesn't have children. JLR doesn't have children. So why are they going to school board meetings? Why? And if you want the truth about how Betty works for the government, well, why don't you just look up, maybe Google manatee woman threatens, and maybe see if that brings something up with the keys. Because when I posted it, I just got it shut down, and Betty did her thing and reported every single video I've ever done. So right now, I don't have the ability to rate my own videos, and YouTube has to go through and hand check them all. And then what do you know? They come back as they're all fine. They're all fine. They're all fine. Put me through whatever. Betty, you shut my channel down for a whole 72 hours last time. Well, I got it back. And that was at 500 subscribers when you got me shut down. I'm 3 times the size now. I'm keeping going. And I'll continue to go because I fight for the truth. I really value the truth. And I really hate it when people victimize others for financial gain. If you just want to go to rallies, just say it. There's people who will support that. I just think that these tragedy pimps should just say, this is what they want to do. People will support it. If Betty and JLR said, hey, we just want to go and we want to be there at the rally so that we can make sure that our voices are heard, and we'll go to this one and then we'll go to this one and we'll take live video while we're there, people would support that. Leave the children alone. Leave the communities that are heartbroken alone. Stop lying. Just be honest, just as Small Town Girl said. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stop, because what I think should happen from here is other people should start where I'm going to leave off and do their magic. There are crafty, talented people who can take this information out and do the good work and link it to one of the best channels I feel out there is Deets on the Streets. Deets on the Streets has done amazing work in documenting what JLR has done, to the point where, as I feel, some of these clip channels and channels like Deets have done such amazing work that the work is done for prosecutors and legal officials to take action, that what they have put together can absolutely be used in a court of law. They've done beautiful work. Deets on the Streets, amazing work. Heels in the Air is always there to get the best clips, and she has great humor. The other ones, are doing great, where I See What You Can't and Call It As I See It, et cetera, on, the worst one of them all, whose name will not be spoken right now because it's too early in the morning to summon a demon. But anyway, check out JLR's Wikipedia. I posted it on my community page, I think Friday. And I posted the clip that White Boy Lockdown Radio put of him just doing this with Candace at the hotel. That's also in the comments there. And then head on over to Deets in the Streets. And hopefully Deets in the Streets will see kind of where I was concerned with this conversation and see what she can do to amend it a little bit. Because I can't. I would just like some people to see this before it's gone, to see that the problem here is that JLR is being seen as cute and funny, as opposed to what he really is, as a true menace to society who is in violation of his parole. And on that note, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you for listening. And I will talk to y'all again soon. Have a happy Monday.